Good morning, everyone. I'm getting the camera, see if I can get you back. Okay, I'm back. How are y'all this morning? It's Saturday morning. We're getting ready to go down to our little lake community center. We're having a family day, which is going to be fun. They're going to have a ski show. They're going to have cardboard boat races with the fire department and the police department, family boat races and stuff. So, you know, slides, vendors, all that stuff. So it's going to be a fun day. Hey, I wanted to show you my shirt. How you like this? Girls Trip, cheaper than therapy. This was one of our t-shirts from Celebration that I went to this week. And if you've been following me for the last couple of days, I've been talking about fall stuff. And, you know, yesterday I was at the store and I found the pumpkin donuts. So I've been into those with my coffee this morning and I'm all set. So what I wanted to do was show you how to make a little pumpkin like this. Okay. Very simple, inexpensive. Now, if you go to the store and buy one, you're going to pay a pretty penny. But what I do is make my own. So first thing I do is I'm going to move the camera down so you can see it. And let's get started with it. If you're on here, jump in and say hi. Tell me what state you're from. That would be great. I'm trying to get the camera set up. Let me move it back a little bit. You know, one of these days, I'll get a professional camera maybe. Nah, it's too much fun doing it the cheaper way. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to draw, how to cut a circle. And, you know, some people use a string and tie a pencil around it and go around. Well, I'm not that talented. You know, my hand moves and stuff like that. So I have to find an easier way to do it. So what I found, I'm going to use a piece of paper just to show for example. But let's see, I'm still having trouble with you seeing it. Let me go up a little bit higher. And go over some. Okay, maybe that's better. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just pretend this is a piece of fabric. Fold it over so that the corners or the line matches up. And I'm sure some of y'all have probably seen this. If it were fabric, you just leave a fold like that. So you can see how I folded it, like so. Okay. Now I'm going to cut this part off. Getting ahead of myself there. And the circle does not have to be perfect, because heaven knows I can't make a straight line, much less a circle. And here I am cutting right along the edge of this, and I'm still not cutting straight. So I would keep this piece of fabric just for whatever I was going to make. But if you'll open it back up, fold it in half. Well, easier said than done. Fabric is more forgiving than paper. Okay. You know, so what we've done now is we've done a square. I'm going to fold it this way again. So you can see how I've got the line going up here and the line going there. That's the way you're going to fold your fabric. You're going to fold it into a quarter sheet. Now, if you're talented with that pencil, and this is not straight, it doesn't have to be. I don't know if you see how that does not line up properly. I can fight with it and correct it if I want to, but you don't have to. All right, so then all I do is make a loop. Now, if you want to take that string, put a pin here and draw a circle around it, that's fine. Again, I'm not coordinated enough for that. So I just take and start at this corner and fabric's, again, more forgiving, and just cut around to the other corner. Okay? So it's kind of like a big ice cream cone. I wouldn't mind having an ice cream cone that size. But when you open it up, you've got a circle. Okay? So that's as easy as it is to cut a circle. And I will save that for something else. Okay, while I'm showing you cutting items, I wanted to show you a couple other things that I've done. I like going to thrift shops and finding good deals. And one thing that I usually get is lace curtains or cornices, lace tablecloths, curtains that I like the picture, you know, the fabric in and stuff. So this is an old, I don't know if it's crocheted or tatted or what, but it was a cornice. If you can see, it was just a little cornice, and I have cut pieces out of it. You can see holes here. Well, there you go. Holes there and holes here. So I just go around and cut out whatever I want out of it. At this point, I cut one of the roses out. And I didn't think it was going to be big enough for what we're going to make. So I went ahead and cut some of the open weave part out and just kind of, those are supposed to be leaves. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but they're supposed to be leaves. Again, crafts don't have to be perfect. So what I've done is I have cut a large piece of fabric, same way I showed you with the paper. This was a 36-inch square, so you'll know how large of a pumpkin it would make with 36 inches, and you can adjust accordingly. This little one that I made, and it's about the size of my hand, so you can see the size. Well, somehow or the other, I'll get it in the camera. This way, there you go. That was a 12-inch square. So that gives you an idea of how small they are once you make them. So you don't want to go smaller than 12 unless you've got real nimble fingers, and I don't have those at this point in my life. Okay, so what I've done is I've gotten this piece of fabric, and this is flannel, but you can use whatever. When I'm thrifting, I always look for flannel shirts. Something that I like to do is take an old flannel shirt and cut it up and use it for a pumpkin. But last time I went to the thrift store, there were no flannel shirts. So what I have done is, you can see here, I've just taken basting stitches. I think you can see all the way around the circle, the outside of the circle. And then I will take and draw it together. And this is going to be our pumpkin, okay? Doesn't look like much one now, does it? In fact, it looks like an old shower cap or something. I still wish I could get this back further. I'm going to come around. Excuse me a moment. Let me move the camera a little bit further away and see if it'll give you a better idea. Okay, maybe that'll be a little bit better. Okay. So we've got the item pulled, and I've not completely basted it all the way around. I've left a section open, and what I'm going to do is stuff it right now. So I just purchased some fiber fill at the store, and I'm going to stuff it. Now, it takes a lot more stuffing than what you think. And I like to leave the opening big because, again, my non-nimble fingers are challenging. So what are y'all planning for today? If you would, comment what state you're in and what you're going to be doing this weekend. Or if you're watching it as a replay, post what state you're in and replay. And then tell me what you did, or if you're watching it before the weekend's over, what you're going to do. You know, since I've retired, weekends are not as exciting as they were before, because every day is a weekend. I love getting up and just doing what I'm doing. And, you know, part of that is because I worked a lot and retired, but I also invested, and I found things that I like to do on the side, and that was what people call direct marketing. It is, okay, so there is pyramid, but I'll explain about a pyramid. A pyramid is illegal as far as the law goes, but all businesses are pyramids. And if you think about it, at the bottom, you've got the workers. And then as you go up, you've got managers, and there's fewer managers. So you've got a line that's got workers, then you've got a smaller line that says managers, then you may have directors, and then you have the owner. So as it goes up, the number of people goes into a pyramid. So every business is a pyramid, and direct sales is a business. It's just a personal business that we do locally. I've done direct sales all my life, well, not all my life, since I turned, let's just say for going on 30 years. We'll just do it that way. Okay, you can see how it's starting to shape into a pumpkin. Now, if I want a flatter pumpkin, I may not put as much filling in it, but I want to make sure that I poke over to the sides and get it all. Or I can fill it further and make it more of a round one. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this one. I may do a flatter one. And what I like with crafting is just making it my own. You know, I love when someone comes in the house and they see something and they go, oh, that's cute. And I say, thanks, I made it. And not be ashamed. I will say there's been some crafts that I've done that I don't really want to take credit for. Okay, as you can see, it takes a lot of stuffing for one of the big pumpkins. And again, this was a 36-inch square. So let me test it and see what it's looking like. Okay. I think I'm going to make a flat pumpkin with this one. And I think I've got enough stuffing in it. Maybe a little bit more on this side over here. Now, I have made these pumpkins with blue jeans. I've cut the leg out of a blue jean. And now I can do that because the thighs on my blue jeans are big. My husband wears loose jeans, so I use those. And really turns out cute. So if you've got some old blue jeans or an old flannel shirt, lots of things that you can use to make this any kind of a fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and close this up, and the way I'm going to close it is I'm just pulling this tight, and I'm going to make a few more basting stitches, if you can see this. A few more basting stitches around, if I can get all the fiber fill out of the way. Just so I've got it where it'll tighten down. Okay, kind of hard doing it toward the camera, so bear with me here. And all I've done is just use thread that I've had around the house. It doesn't matter what color. And you just pull it tight. And you keep pulling it until you get it tight in the center. You can see how I've done this. Okay, I'm going to go in. I've got it tight. And then I'm going to tie off the string. Whoops, let me take one more loop in there. Looks like I didn't go around quite far enough. You know, I love crafting. I don't know if you do. You know, I can't draw a stick figure, but I do have fun. Okay, I think I've got it as tight as I want there, a little bit tighter. All right, and then what I'm going to do is, while I'm holding it tight, well, as I was holding it tight, I'm going to loop around to the other side and pick up a small stitch. Doesn't matter where, just as long as you get to the other side. And then I'm going to tie it off. Oops. Let me get that loosened up a little bit because I tied it the wrong way. Okay, pull it tight again. And you can use a heavier thread or a lighter thread. Don't worry about how it looks on the top right now. I'm going to show you how that gets fixed. Okay, I'm going to hold this and then pull this tight. And then I'm just going to loop around one more time and make a knot there. Now I could put more filling in it and made it a taller one, but I liked it shorter. All right, so you can see how it looks there. Still not very pretty, right? Okay, and I like that I can move the stuffing around some. I think I'm going to put another little knot in this just to be on the safe side. And let me trim that off. Okay. Get the fiber fuzz. That's the finished. So what I like to do, if I've got it tight enough, I can push everything down inside and do it. Okay, but on this one, I'm going to lay this on top, and that'll hide it. I can make it bigger or smaller, and then I don't have what I'm going to use on it because my husband, when we moved back in March, we threw away a bunch of my wood stalks, so he's going to go out and cut me a stalk today. But basically, you just put, well, you know what? Let's just do this cork. We'll do it this way, and I'll show you. Let me get my glue gun. And it'll take a moment for it to heat up. But I will set this with a variety of pumpkins out on my front porch and around my bench and make my fall look without spending a lot of money. Again, if you have old flannel shirts, that's great. Okay, as soon as my glue gun gets heated up. So while we're waiting on that, let me remind you, I'm going to grab my little sign here. And bring it over and ask you to do that if you do. I hope you enjoy crafting. I like to do simple crafts. I also do a few different type crafts. One of the things that I did recently is this is just a piece of wood. I'm just talking while I'm waiting for the gun to heat up. This is just a slice of a 1x6, and it's like a 6-inch square. I stained it and then put one of our stencils, used it with a chalk paste. Another one that I did was a little house that says gather. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is turn around and do another image on the back. So that makes it 2 holidays or 2 things for one. Another item that we have just brought in are rub-on stencils, rub-on transfers. And that's what these pumpkins are over here. You just lay them on and rub them on. That's a new item that we just brought. They were released on Wednesday and they sold out on Wednesday, so they're ordering more in. So again, this is just a piece of wood that was sliced. I stained it and painted, or actually I painted it, then I used different colored chalks to give a look. I used one of our stencils that said thankful, and I've got another inexpensive craft. On the back side, I used our Christmas stencils, which won't be available until later in the year, but I'll put another saying on this side. And again, just a piece of wood. So if your husband or you work with wood and you've got scraps, don't throw them away. You can use them. Just make sure you seal them when you do it. Okay, let's see if my gun's warm now. All right, I'm going to move it back down. Excuse all the junk on my back. Those are projects that I'm working on. It's warm. All right, so what I'm going to do is, if I can get that spider leg out of the way, I'm just going to go around and make a circle. You can see how I've just put the glue around. And then I'm going to take the, oops, let me get a little finger protector there, and I'm going to poke that down so it holds it. All right. And then I will put this, you know, I think I may wait. I don't know that I'll use this. I think I'll wait and get my stick, you know, a little chunk of wood and put up there. No, we'll go ahead and do this. So I just get it over here in the camera. Put glue around this, and I want to put a lot of glue on it. Now I will tell you, I have found that the glue, Gorilla Glue that you can get at Walmart or anywhere actually, holds better for outdoors. If you're going to be putting something outdoors, don't use the inexpensive glues. go ahead and invest in Gorilla Glue. But there's your pumpkin, and there's the little one, and it's all done. So easy peasy. I don't know if anyone signed on. If you did, I missed your comments and I apologize. But other than that, have a great Saturday and a weekend, and remember to let me know if you've watched this, what your thoughts are. Bye.